Hey everybody, what I've got here is the Best Glide ASE Wilderness Survival Pack, and we're going to check it out right now on Kitbashed Survival. Alright, we're back to Best Glide ASE. I've reviewed a lot of their stuff in previous videos, and I've always been pretty happy with the stuff they make. Now, the ASE in Best Glide ASE stands for Adventure Survival Equipment, although originally it stood for Aviation Survival Equipment, and that's because they got their start making aviation survival kits, the kind that you would keep in the back of a small plane in case you went down. And I think this is kind of an extension of that. It's a wilderness survival kit, and I'm willing to bet that they really intended this to be in the back of a bush plane or something like that, where if you went down in the wilderness, you had some stuff to keep you alive for a while. So it's a pretty big kit, and it's not cheap. This thing cost me around $330 if I recall when I bought it on the Best Glide website. And one of the reasons it's so expensive, other than its size, is that it's made in USA. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the entire kit is made in the USA, but it's packed here in the US, and where possible, they sourced US-made components. And that's going to make it more expensive than if you have it made in some other country, like China, for example. Anyway, let's go ahead and see how big this thing is. So it's roughly 15 inches long by 8 by 8 or 9 inches. And let's see if we can weigh this thing. I've got my scales here. To try to get this thing to fit on here, we'll put this tray here first. Let's zero that out. And we get 7 pounds, 13 ounces. That's probably a little bit off. We'll say 8 pounds. Yeah, I checked it on another scale that I have downstairs, and it came in right around 8 or 9 pounds. So we've got this nice red sort of nylon Cordura fabric bag. Seems really sturdy. The bag's made in the USA, and these come in different colors. You can get red or olive green or black, I believe. And these bags are also available for separate sale. Let's take off the tag. Alpha Response Utility and Kit Bag. So this is talking about the bag itself. It's not talking about the entire kit. And like I said, you can buy that bag separately. Government issue. Yeah, so they've got black, green, tan, and red. And they've also got a smaller bag. If you watched my review of the Alaska Aviation Survival Kit that they make, that uses the medium bag. And you've got these sturdy handles here, and then you've got a shoulder strap here that can be detached if you need to do that. And then on each side of the bag, there's a little Velcro pocket. There's one over there too. Anyway, let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Ooh, look at that. Right, first up, we've got what looks like a bag of first aid supplies. Got a bag of paracord. And we'll take a closer look at all this stuff once we get it out of the bag. Got a compass. Got a survival candle. Bunch of water. It's nice. Signal panel. Couple of head nets. Flashlight. Bite and sting kit. A mat, no, a water bag. There's a lot of stuff in here. A wire saw. A smaller survival kit with a bunch of other stuff in here. Again, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Another sub bag with matches and fire making stuff, and it looks like a Swiss Army knife. Survival sewing and repair kit. Dye marker and insect repellent, and a whistle, and some other stuff. A first aid book. A survival guide. It's pretty cool. We got a couple packs of emergency rations. Keeps on coming, doesn't it? Some glow sticks. Water purification. Oh, we're at the last item. An emergency blanket. Alright, so now let's take a closer look at all the stuff we just pulled out of this bag. Alright, so first up, food and water. And by the way, I'm filming with a new tabletop here, and hopefully it won't mess with the white balance too much or anything. It's got a little bit of a reflective coat on it. Anyway, so we've got some ration bars, and these are the mainstay emergency rations. 3,600 calories per pack. And I've had these before, and they're okay. They kind of taste like underdone sugar cookies. 5-year shelf life. Expiration date is September 2025. So still good. And then we've got some of these water packs. Looks like 6 water packs. And you've seen these before. 4.225 ounces. Pretty basic, just emergency drinking water. And by the way, the purpose of these is not to supply you with all the water you would need. Obviously, this is way too little. The purpose of this is just to give you enough to get started, and then hopefully at some point you can secure access to potable water or purify your own water. Oh, and by the way, assuming this kit is meant to sustain 2 people for 3 days, these 2 emergency packets would give each person 1,200 calories per day, which is not a lot, but it's not bad as far as survival kits go. I mean, you're not going to be loving life on 1,200 calories a day, especially eating this stuff, but you will survive. Next up, we've got some water supplies. So we've got a 2-gallon water bag made by Stansport. Yeah, it's just your basic plastic water storage bag. Nice thick plastic. Not sure what this thing is. See if I can find out. Carrying bag has a 2-gallon holding capacity, constructed of heavy-duty PE. Sealing key prevents liquid from spilling. Handle for easy carrying. Bag folds flat when empty for compact storage. Bag is ideal for camping, car, or RV travel, in boats or at home. So that's what this is. It's a clip to keep it closed. Okay, and then we've got some Aquamira water treatment, chlorine dioxide, so for water purification, and it's a 2-part solution. There's a part A and a part B. Yeah, if it was me, I'd have water purification tablets and then a water straw, like a life straw, and I'll probably add that to this kit at the end of this video. We'll see. There we go. Then we've got some stuff in the lighting category. So we've got 3 of these 6-inch snap lights. There's 2 green that last for 12 hours. And then there's a yellow that is a 30-minute high-intensity light, which is kind of cool. I guess this would be good for signaling or something like that. And then we've got the pack light, 9-volt LED flashlight. And I've seen these in other Best Glide kits, and it's pretty cool. So it's really simple. There's a 9-volt battery, and it clips onto this end piece. You got low, you got high, and then while it's on, it charges up this plastic so that it glows in the dark when you turn it off. So after you've been using it, you get a little bit of free light afterwards. Not sure how well you can see that, but it's glowing green. So yeah, a really cool idea, really practical. Easy to use, and it's considerably brighter than I thought it would be. I mean, it's not the brightest thing in the world, but it's pretty darn bright, I must say. Let's see how long it lasts. So, with an alkaline battery, at low it'll last for 600 hours, and at high it'll last for 30 hours. With an optional lithium battery, you get 1,200 hours at low and 80 hours at high. So yeah, not bad. 600 hours at low and 30 hours at high with just a plain old 9-volt battery. Not bad. I like it. And then we've got our Coghlan's 36-hour survival candle. And, well, there's a book of matches inside. Bonus. So we got a book of matches, and then there's 3 wicks, and it says it'll burn for 36 hours. Light 1 to 3 wicks depending on how much light or heat is needed. If using 1 wick, we suggest you burn for only 3 hours and then change to another. This way the candle will burn evenly. Candle will burn for 36 hours when only 1 wick is used at a time. If 3 wicks are burned continuously, the candle will last approximately 12 hours. Then we've got a couple books. We've got Backcountry First Aid and Extended Care. So I'm sure there's lots of good info in there. Looks like about 120 pages or so. And then we've got Harper Essentials, The Ultimate Survival Guide, an essential resource for dealing with any type of danger, how to survive in the wild, in any climate, on land or at sea, by John Lofty Wiseman. Again, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of stuff in here. How many pages is this one? 291. Yeah, 200, almost 300 pages. So yeah, I mean, you've got 120 pages of first aid and almost 300 pages of survival info. Not bad at all. We've got a couple of Coughlin's mosquito head nets. It's great to see these in this kit because you could be in trouble really fast if you're in a mosquito infested area, and these are going to go a long way towards protecting you, keeping you from getting eaten alive when you're sleeping, for example, and also prevent the transmission of diseases. And I would imagine they might be able to double as a fishing net if necessary as well. And you got 2 of them. And then we've got the complete bite and sting first aid kit, mosquitoes, snakes, wasps, and bees, plus spider bites, scorpion bites, and more. The extractor, the only suction device proven to remove snake venom. And it's made by Sawyer, the same folks who make the water filters. Pretty cool. An easy-to-use suction pump which can safely and quickly remove significant quantities of venom, poison, or irritants from bites or stings. See back of package for important medical information. I've heard from some people that these pumps don't really work that well, but who knows. Fortunately, I've never been bitten by a snake, so I've never had to test one of these. Actually, I have been bitten by a snake. I used to have a pet boa constrictor, and one time after I hadn't fed her for a little while, she bit me to let me know it was time to feed her. But she wasn't poisonous, so it was all good. Nice little kit here. Extreme protection against bites and stings. I imagine these are the instructions. And we've got some sting relief, a couple alcohol prep pads, 3 Band-Aids. Then we've got the suction device, the extractor. And then it looks like we've got some tips that you can put on it, depending on the size of the wound and the shape. Pretty cool. And they've also got a disposable razor to shave any hair so that you can get a clean seal for good suction. Hopefully you'd never find yourself in a position to have to use one of these things, but if you did, you've got it. Let's check out what's in this big bag of first aid supplies. I think there's a bunch of stuff in there. So first up, we've got the emergency bandage, trauma wound dressing, 4-inch hemorrhage control bandage. And we've got some medical tape, waterproof adhesive tape, 1 inch by 10 yards. Just your standard white medical tape. MediFirst Purified Water Ophthalmic Solution Eye Wash. So just some eye wash. Always good to have. All right, we got this bag. There's a lot of stuff in here. We got bags within bags. So we've got Lip Guard lip ointment. Always good to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Then we've got some sting relief pads. In addition to what we had in the snake bite kit. Looks like there's 4. Oh, sunscreen. Always good to have sunscreen in a survival kit. And we got sunscreen lotion. I have this same exact type of sunscreen lotion in my survival kit supplies. You know, whenever I enhance survival kits, I've got a whole bag of these that I bought. And it is 30 SPF, and it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Triple antibiotic ointment. There it is. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. That's a pretty generous supply of antibiotic ointment. Probably the most that I've ever seen in a survival kit. And we've got povidone iodine swab sticks. Looks like 5 of them. Alright, then we got a bag full of drugs. Again, a bunch of bags within bags. Boy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs of Diamode. I'm guessing this is for diarrhea. Yeah, loperamide. And we've got a whole buttload of aspirin. Let's see here. Looks like each aspirin is 325 milligrams, and there's 2 in each pack. We got 15 packs of aspirin, so 30 aspirins total. That's crazy. I've never seen this much aspirin in a single survival kit. Then we have Diotame, which is a bismuth compound. This is for heartburn. We got 2 pills per pack, and there's 5 packs, so we've got 10 pills for heartburn. These are kind of like Tums. Ibuprofen, a whole mess of ibuprofen, wow. So there's 2 pills per pack, each pill is 200 milligrams, and there's 15 packs. So we've got 30 ibuprofens, wow. Then we've got acetaminophen, and again, there's 15 packs, 2 pills per pack, each pill is 325 milligrams, so 30 pills of acetaminophen. Then we've got 5 packets of Metalite, there's 2 pills per packet, and I believe this is for replenishing your electrolytes. And then we've got 5 packets of Difen, which is Benadryl, there's 1 pill per pack, 25 milligrams per pill. Boy, they are not kidding when it comes to the medications in this wilderness survival kit. And we've got another bag full of what looks like bandages. Alright, so we got a moleskin for blisters, a triangular bandage, we've got 2 extra absorbent abdominal pads, got a roll of gauze, 2 inches by 4.1 yards, or 5.1 centimeters by 3.75 meters. We got 2 of those. Here's another one. And then we got this bag, which I'm sure has a bunch of Band-Aids in it. Yeah. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 10 gauze pads here. Again, very generous. And then we got all the Band-Aids, and I'm sure there's a very generous supply of Band-Aids in this thing. So we got 5 butterfly strips. And then we got regular sized Band-Aids, Curad, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 Band-Aids. So there it is, and yeah, this is one of the most generous first aid kits I've ever seen in a survival kit. It's excellent. Here's that compass, and it's a Brunton True Arc 3 base plate compass. Brunton makes pretty good quality compasses. I've got a few already. Got a little lanyard to put on it. I'm going to leave that as is for now. And there it is. And of course, it is accurate. Nice quality compass. Obviously not the best compass ever made, but pretty darn good for a survival kit, and it's made in USA, which is even better. Looks great. Here we've got a Best Glide ASE Survival Sewing and Repair Kit. And this is one of those sub-kits that you can buy separately if you want to. They sell these on the Best Glide website. So survival, camping, hunting, hiking, fishing includes military-approved items and Kevlar thread. And they've got the contents on the back, but we'll just open it up and take a look. So the plastic bag is listed in the contents because it's a watertight bag. Nice thick plastic. All right, so we've got a Fresnel lens for magnification or starting a fire. Always good to have. We've got some brass snare wire for repairs or hunting, although in this context, I think it's more for doing repairs. Got a roll of duct tape. We've got a little container of needles of varying sizes. There's a whole bunch of them, so looks like we've got 1, 2, 3. Looks like we've got 4 needles, little push pin needles. And then we've got 3 sewing needles, a large one and then 2 smaller ones. Not bad. So 4 pins and 3 sewing needles. I stuck my finger there. Got a Dermasafe razor knife. Nice. Right here, we have got a piece of fabric for doing repairs. So I'm guessing this is going to be the mil-spec utility cord. If I can open it up. It's kind of like paracord, but just thinner. Instead of 550, it's probably like 225 or something like that. Then we've got this bag. A whole bunch of stuff in here. So we've got an assortment of buttons, 2 large ones, 2 medium, and 2 small. Here's the heavy-duty sewing thread. Good amount of it. This is the Kevlar cord, I believe. Not bad. Then we've got a thimble, a needle threader, and then we've got 6 safety pins. 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small, just like with the buttons. And that is the Survival Sewing and Repair Kit. Not bad. Here we've got 50 feet of 550 paracord. Nice generous amount. And then of course we've got a space blanket, SOL emergency blanket. And this one is 58 inches by 98 inches, or 140 centimeters by 249 centimeters. Then we've got a Best Glide ASE VS17 CIV emergency signal panel. Survival, camping, boating, hiking. U.S. government issue. I saw one of these when I reviewed the Best Glide Alaska Aviation Survival Kit a while back, and it's just a giant signaling panel, which is a great thing to have when you're in a survival situation. And I suppose it could probably also double as a ground cloth and a few other uses as well, probably just limited by your imagination. And then we've got the Best Glide Adventurer Spiral Wire Pocket Saw, military issue, civilian version, 20 inches long, 0.040 steel spiral wire. And looks like your basic wire saw, although it does seem to be pretty well made. Cool. And then we've got 3 of these watertight bags with various supplies in each bag. So first up, we'll take a look at the one in the middle. And these are nice quality Ziploc bags. Good for keeping stuff dry. So we've got some 100% DEET insect repellent, a waterproof notepad. That was good to have. A compact emergency signal mirror. A pencil to go with that pad. A pack of desiccant. A whistle. This is an Acme whistle from England. These are pretty good. And finally, this is really cool. This is an Orion dye marker, highly visible fluorescent green. And basically what you do is you pour this stuff into the water and it colors the water green in order to get someone's attention. This is pretty cool. I've never seen a dye marker in any survival kit that I've reviewed before. I'm sure they're in a lot of military survival kits, but this is the first time I've seen it in a civilian survival kit. Very cool. So here's the directions. Do not use on water until rescue aircraft or help is sighted. Gradually pour the dye into the water. Duration varies with conditions. Here's the next bag. So we've got another Fresnel lens. That's a nice redundancy. We've got 2 bottles of storm matches. That's nice. Looks like there's 15 matches in each one of these, and we've got 2 of them, so that's 30 storm matches. It's not bad at all. We've got another Dermasafe razor knife. Another nice redundancy. Then, of course, we've got a ferro rod and striker. Nice thick ferro rod. I like that. Oh, yeah. Works just fine. Yeah, I like that. Then we've got a whole bunch of these wax impregnated tinder pieces. I don't know how many are in here, but it's a whole bunch. If I had to guess, I'd say 15 or 20. Very generous. We've got another desiccant pack. And then we've got a genuine Victorinox Swiss Army knife. And this is a Recruit. There it is. It's not a super fancy Swiss Army knife. It's very basic, but it is a genuine Swiss Army knife. So it's got the large blade, the small blade, the can opener and screwdriver, the bottle opener, screwdriver, and wire stripper. And then, of course, we've got a pair of tweezers on this side and a toothpick on this side. So yeah, the Victorinox Recruit. Not bad. And then we've got the last bag, which is also the last item in the kit. Another desiccant pack. So we've got the Best Glide Survival Fishing Kit Basic version. I've already reviewed this in a previous video, so I'll put a link to that in this video. But it's a pretty good kit for a basic fishing kit. And then we've got some more brass snare wire, 50 feet of it. So this is the second spool of brass snare wire in this kit. So again, a very generous supply. 50 feet here, and then we've got that other spool that you saw earlier. And by the way, that's why I said the previous roll was probably meant for gear repair, because it was in the repair kit, whereas this is probably meant for hunting. We've got a P51 can opener. Can't go wrong with that. Oh, we've got a speed hook for fishing. These are cool. Oh, we got more than just the speed hook. Okay, so we've got some bait here. Looks like bait. Is that like freeze-dried mealworms or something? Maybe. So we've got some bait, we've got some line, and then we've got the speed hook. And the way these work is, oh, let me see if I can remember. So the way these work is you've got your hook here, your line here that goes to your tree or branch. And let's see if I can do this. Bring it together like so. And you hang it from a tree branch or something. And you got your hook in the water with your bait. And then when something grabs the bait, it snaps back and snares the fish. So it's an automatic fishing device. Now, normally you're not allowed to use automatic fishing devices, but you're usually allowed to do it if it's a survival situation. But you should always check with your local laws just to make sure. But yeah, a little speed hook. Very cool. And what's cool is that, you know, I've seen these before, but usually they don't come with a bunch of extra line and they don't come with any bait. And this comes with both. So very nice. And then they've got the instructions here for how to use it. All right, then we've got 1, 2, 3 Melita coffee filters for filtering sediment out of water, I'd imagine. Then we've got another book of matches, in addition to the one that was in the candle. Nice. And finally, we've got a big old piece of tin foil. This might be a couple pieces, but either way, it's really big. I don't want to unfold the whole thing, but very nice. Heavy-duty tin foil. Or I should say aluminum foil. Heavy-duty aluminum foil. Force of habit, I just always say tin foil. All right, so here's all the stuff from the Best Glide ASE Wilderness Survival Kit. And you know what? I really like this kit. It's got a lot of everything. It's got all the basics covered, and it's a very generous kit. I mean, the first aid supply is incredibly generous. You've got a lot of storm matches. You've got redundancy in the fishing gear, the brass snare wire. You've got a lot of cordage and a lot of everything else. I think it's an excellent kit. Now, is it perfect? Of course not. There's no such thing as a perfect survival kit, but it's got a lot of stuff that would come in handy in a survival situation and give you a fighting chance. Now, as for the price tag, $330 to $340, I believe that's what I paid for this. I think that's a fair price. Now, I'm sure some people are going to criticize that price, but keep in mind that criticizing the price by saying, oh, I could build that for a lot less money, that is not a valid criticism, because whether it's a survival kit or an oil change for your car or a cheeseburger or painting your house, it is always cheaper to do it yourself rather than paying somebody else to do it for you. And essentially what you're doing here is paying Best Glide ASE to build the kit for you. And given that, and given the components in the kit, I think it's a fair price. Anyway, as good as this thing is, this wouldn't be Kitbashed Survival if I just left it as it is. And so I'm going to try to make it better by adding a few things. So in the lighting department, I'll be adding a headlamp. This is a Glowco rechargeable headlamp. I think this came in a battle box a while back. And I'll also add an extra 9-volt battery for that existing flashlight. In the knife department, you know, this kit has plenty of cutting devices. You've got the 2 DermaSafe knives and the Swiss Army knife, but I'd like to add a fixed blade knife if I have space, and so that'll be this Morineve Companion in a nice bright orange color that'll be easy to see if it falls on the ground. In the fire department, I'm going to add 2 of these Extreme Start fire starters and a Bic lighter. And the reason this thing doesn't come with a Bic lighter, just in case you're wondering, is because oftentimes it'll complicate shipping if a company adds a fueled item like a Bic lighter to their kit. And so that's why you typically don't see butane lighters come in off-the-shelf survival kits, although I have seen 1 or 2 exceptions over the years. And closely related to fire, I'm going to add a couple packs of hand warmers for a total of 4. I'm also going to add this folding stove that comes with the fuel tabs. However, if space becomes tight, I might swap that out for this MRE folding stove. I think I got this out of a Russian MRE a while back. I'll also add a couple of these spoon fork combo tools. I actually got these at Eddie Bauer. I think they were like $1.50 a piece. I'm going to add 2 steel cups. In the food and drink department, I'll add 6 Jolly Rancher candies. That's 2 per day per person. I'm going to add 4 packs of instant coffee. I'm also going to add some of these malted milk survival tabs. I've got 9 of them vacuum sealed in a little bag. On the first aid personal care side of things, I'm going to add 2 face masks, 4 packs of hand sanitizer, and 3 rolls of TP. As well as 4 of these little pack towels. These are those kind that you add a little water to and they expand out. Oh, almost forgot. If I have the space, I'm going to add this little bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey. Something that's always good to have in a survival situation if you've got the space for it. The only shelter element we have in the kit right now is that space blanket, which for 2 people is not a lot. So I'm going to enhance that by adding this 2-person survival shack. It's the same material as the space blanket, that Mylar material, but it'll fit 2 people. It's a little tube tent. Should work just fine. On the technology side, I'll add this bag. It has a 10,000 milliamp power supply, a wall adapter to go to USB, and then I've got 2 charging cables, one for micro USB and one for Lightning for my iPhone. So with that, I can charge my phone and I can also charge that headlamp. And then I'd like to enhance the water situation in this kit. And so to that end, I'll add this 2-pack of water filter straws. Each of these will filter 30 gallons. It's the blue line made by Aquamira. Actually, that's the same company that makes that purification solution that's already in the kit. I'm also going to add 4 zip ties. And finally, I know people would freak out if I didn't add one of these, a tourniquet. This is a rat's tourniquet. I think I got this in a battle box a while back, and I'm using it just because it's compact. Alright, now comes the real challenge. I have to see if I can get all this stuff back into that bag. There was a little extra space in the bag when I started off, but I don't know if it's enough to get all of the extra gear in there. I'm about to find out. If I get tight on space, I might have to drop stuff like the whiskey and maybe one of the steel cups or something like that, but we'll find out. We'll give it a try. Alright, I got almost everything in there. The only sacrifice I had to make was that I ended up having to swap out that larger folding stove for that smaller portable MRE stove. Everything else fit, and so I'm happy, and this kit is a lot better than how I found it. Although, as I said, off the shelf, I think this is a pretty darn good kit at a fair price, in my opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to hear your opinions. For now, that's it. I'm Eric Siegel. This is Kitbashed Survival. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.